First of all, folks, thank you so much. Elections are not won by TV ads. That helps, certainly. A mail helps. It's really you. It's people who come out, committed people who will knock on doors and bring out the voters. That's how we win these elections. So I want to thank you. First, I want to note that Ed Braunstein's up for re-election. He's doing a fabulous job here, and thank you very much for everything you're doing. We're making sure that we can see that he's sent back to Albany to do the job he's doing. And of course, Robert Zimmerman I have known for quite a number of years, since I got involved in politics, and we've been together. And he serves on the DNC with me, and we have, I have to say, a great relationship. But basically, I want to tell you, he's done a great job in everything that he's done, and he'll be a great representative. And when you think about what's at stake right now, what you're doing, I want you to think not in terms of just the individual candidates that you're supporting, though that's who you'll be talking about. It's really the principles and values of the Democratic Party and what they represent versus what our opponents represent. We can't have Lee Zeldin become the governor of the state of New York when we've got so much that has to be done in a positive way. We can't have these MAGA Republicans running our state. We can't have a Congress where the House of Representatives goes to Marjorie Taylor Greene and that gang. So when you're out there knocking on doors and doing the work you're doing, put the big picture in your head and understand how important your mission is. It's beyond the individuals. It's beyond all of us. It's about what this country will be. It's about our fight to maintain the democracy that has lasted in this country for 246 years. I'm going to end by telling you the same thing I tell everyone wherever in the state that I go. Voters don't get it the way you get it. You understand that it's easy for you. But for a lot of voters out there, this is a complicated business. So I always make it simple, because I think that makes it easy. You tell them simply this: everything you need to know about voting, you were taught when you first learned how to drive a car. If you want to go forward, you put it into D. You want to go backwards, you put it into R. Okay? So we don't want to go backwards. We're going to keep going forwards. That's what you have to do. We're going to win on November the 8th, and it's because of all the work that you do. So thank you all very, very much.
Next, we have Assembly Member Ed Braunstein.
Thank you. It's good to welcome everybody to the 26th Assembly District, and it's great to be here with all of you. Early on last year, I think it was maybe December or January, I sat down and had dinner with Robert at Ben's in Bay Terrace. And I immediately knew this is someone that I would be proud to be my representative in Congress. This is someone who shares my values. This is someone that I'm confident will be able to work together with his colleagues and get things done. And now we are this close from having him in Congress. But for the next 10 days, we have to leave it all on the field. On election night, we don't want to say to ourselves, well, maybe if I just knocked on that one more door, maybe if I made that one extra phone call. So it's incumbent on all of us for the next 10 days to get out there. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, put something on social media, call people up and ask them if they voted. We have to make sure we don't leave any stone unturned to make sure that Robert gets elected. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I'm going to be out there running for myself as well. And just let's get the message out there. If we get Democrats out, if we get our like-minded friends out, we are going to win, and that's our job for the next 10 days. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys all on Tuesday night, November.
Woo! Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ed. And next, our candidate for Congress, Robert Zimmerman.
Thank you. When I walked in here, I said, where are the lights? And it occurred to me that Jay Jacobs, as our state chair, is going to provide the energy to make enough power in this place to last us, not just through Election Day, but through next year as well. Jay Jacobs is a great state chair.
And we've got Ed Braunstein, the illumination of his ideas, as you pointed out. We're going to light this headquarters for a year, at least a year. What a great moment to be together, because your energy, your leadership, your activism is going to make such a difference, not just in our races, but for the state of New York and for the United States Congress. That is for sure. I want to give a special, I see the Stonewall Democrats are here. Special shout out to the Stonewall Democrats. And a great, great honor to be with all of you. It is, would you please come on up? You can't just say it. Our councilwoman's in the house. But can I say, one of the great joys of running, and you look at the challenges of running for office and all the pressures it brings, but when you have the friendships and you have the joy of working with people, learning from people, like Assemblyman Ed Braunstein. He is a role model. When I'm on Long Island, they ask me what Ed Braunstein thinks. He is that kind of important state leader in the Assembly. So I'm so honored to be with him, so honored to run with Ed Braunstein. You couldn't have a better friend, a better running mate, and a greater inspiration than Assemblyman Ed Braunstein. And speaking of council members, let me tell you, it is one of the great joys I've ever had, standing up for not just a great city council member, but someone who's been a great leader on so many fronts for this city, has become one of the most influential city council members in just under a year, Councilwoman Linda Lee. Well, all that you've done, Linda, in terms of mental health, all that you've done for public awareness and public empowerment has been just very important. And it says a lot about the times we're living in. You know, people get so frustrated with government. They wonder where the answers are. Ed Braunstein has shown what government can do for people. Linda Lee has shown what government can do for people. And frankly, in my race, let me be very clear with all of you. This is much bigger than Democrat versus Republican. It's mainstream values versus extremism. And let's understand how clear the choice is. I'm proud to stand up for democratic principles like fighting for gun safety rights, gun safety legislation, reproductive rights, infrastructure investments in our communities. I'm talking about LGBTQ plus rights, talking about reproductive freedom. I'm proud to say I'll be the first member of the LGBT community to represent Long Island and Queens in Congress. But you know, I've learned a lot about how government can work and the difference it can make. And in this race, we have a very clear choice. Because my opponent has stood against gun safety legislation. He supports a national ban on abortion rights for women. He actually supported the insurrectionists on January 6th, paid their legal fees, defended their rights to be in the Capitol during that horrific day in our country's history. We're better than that. Our democracy's better than that. We have great role models like Congresswoman Grace May, who shows how important and meaningful serving in the United States Congress is. I'm going to be working with her. We've already started working. I'm probably going to, one of my first bills will be H.R. 4803. That bill is very important. Andy knows it so well, Andy Chin, because that means that people receive on Medicare and Medicaid have the right to acupuncture therapy, acupuncture treatment. And acupuncturists are covered under H.R. 4803. I'll be working with Congresswoman Grace May to make sure that we have our police fully funded and supported to take on the tragedy of hate crimes affecting the AAPI community. It's at a record level. It never should be tolerated. So we'll be working on making sure that our police have the support, and our educational community has the support to teach the proper history of the AAPI community. I've learned by watching Congresswoman Grace May, Councilwoman Linda Lee, Assemblyman Ed Braunstein. I've learned the difference government can make in people's lives. I'm proud to be part of that mission. I'll be honored to be your next congressman. Thank you very much.
All right, so who's fired up to go talk to voters today? All right, so if you haven't yet received a walk list, come see myself and Abby at the table right here. If you need literature, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Remember, early voting started today. We have a sheet with all the early voting locations for this area. And thank you so much for everyone coming. And yes, before we all start moving out, we want to take one very big group photo with everyone. So if everyone can come around.